Hello collectors, and welcome to my Thor Ragnarok Loki full video review. So I guess we'll first start off with the box. As you can see, the nameplate Loki is gold foiled, and his name actually has his helmet on there, so that's pretty cool. And the image of Loki himself is very it's not an actual movie still or an image of the figure, but it's more of an artistic take on the character design. And on the bottom you got Marvel Thor Ragnarok Hot Toys movie masterpiece and a Sicarian symbol with his Uru daggers. And the box itself, it's very vibrant, it's very green, got some lime color, some bright green with white, yellow speckled all over the box, which kind of follows Ragnarok's theme of being very bright and very comical, I guess, aside from when Asgard blows up, that is. Continuing on to the side, you have Loki again, his daggers, and we've got some Sicarian gladiator symbols, and they've continued on with that paint theme where you have some green paint brushed. It's not actually paint on the box, but it's the box graphic. And on the top of the box you have Thor Ragnarok Marvel. I'm sorry if I'm sniffing or my voice sounds a bit off, but I'm feeling a bit under the weather, so do accept my apologies. And on the other side we've got the same thing, MMS472 Loki and his daggers, as continuing the motif of the packaging. So that's it for the front cover. Boop, there he is. So I'll get the figure, I'll show you guys the figure and his accessories now. Oop, there he is. So there is Loki and all of his accessories displayed. So I guess we'll start off with his wrist pegs. Starting off with the most not boring, but the least important thing. So he comes with 2 spare wrist pegs, standard with pretty much any Hot Toys. He comes with 2 hands to hold his daggers, and all of his hands have the same kind of glove design, where the outer sides of his gloves are gold trimmed, which makes him look very grand, and they've actually sculpted in fabric creases there, so that looks pretty good. And as always with Hot Toys, their flesh tones are on point. So yep, that's his dagger hands. I'm really sorry if my sniffing is very loud, and I'm sorry if you can hear that police siren in the background. And he comes with a pair of fisted hands and 2 pairs of open palms, as you can see, that are already on the figure, and 1 right hand for holding the Tesseract, which I will show now. Yeah, there is one side of the Tesseract which is not as see-through as the other side, so that I'm assuming that is the one where you place against his hand, and it just fits very snugly there. There are no lights in the Tesseract, and it is very fingerprint absorbent, so probably clean it after you handle it. That's my advice. The Tesseract also comes with this small pedestal. There's really not much to it. It's stone colored, and there is some weathering detail in there, if you can see that, near the base. The next thing is the Surtur skull. This is the same mold as the Road-worn Thor one, but there is no magnet at the back, so you can't attach it to Road-worn Thor's back. But I'm assuming you can still use that chain and sling it around his back. And the main difference between this one and the Road-worn Thor one is the flaming paint effect. So Hot Toys has applied some very light orange, some darker red tones to the crown itself and his skull there to make it look like it's flaming. So when Loki dumps it into the eternal flame, that's what it's supposed to replicate. So just set that aside. I won't be displaying him with that because my shelf is going to run out of space. I'm going to display him with the Tesseract, probably. The next thing is his beautiful, beautiful helmet. Again, they've really knocked this one out of the park. The gold is very shiny, it's very vibrant. And you can see there's some green sections to his helmet, which I didn't realize before. Oops. And I really like Loki with his helmet on. I really dig the curved back horns. So this is something that I'll definitely display him with. And I think it just frames the head better. The next thing is his daggers. They both come with a sheath of sorts. And the sheath itself, if that will focus a bit. Yeah, you can see that the outer trim of it is purple. So, and the main body of it is just a glossy black. The handle itself, it's very vibrant blue, darker blue and light blue kind of blended there. And it's very well sculpted. There are some silver details between the grooves of the handle, if you can see that. And the sheath is, you just slide off and you have his dagger. Just a simple silver paint job. Now this is plastic, it's not die cast, so be careful so that you don't bend the dagger itself, because as you can see the line there, so that makes this smaller section very fragile, as this piece and that piece, they are all sculpted in one piece, but that line makes it it splits the pressure, if you will, and that makes this section extremely fragile. So just don't mess around with the dagger, or else you might break it. Just put that there. Now, the last thing that I'm gonna show you guys is his display base, which follows the other Ragnarok figures pretty closely in the fact that it's this shape, comes with a metal plaque with his name and some Sicarian symbols. Sorry. And movie logo, and the main background is a dark green with some gladiator symbols and a yellow graphic with a lighter green paint and red kind of speckled there, just like the box itself. So that's it for his accessories. I'm gonna set Loki up closer so we can take a closer look at Loki himself. Now this Loki head sculpt has been a very strong debate in the 1/6 community, in the sense that some people think that this doesn't look like Tom Hiddleston at all. I'll overlay an image now which offers a side-by-side comparison with a movie still and the head sculpt itself. But in my opinion, this looks pretty damn good. There's really not much else to say. It looks, in my opinion at least, so take this with a grain of salt, but it's the best Loki sculpt there is, because Hot Toys has put so much effort into detailing it. As you can see, that's not focusing. Let me just cover some of the light. Nope. But as you can see, Hot Toys has wrinkled his forehead. They've wrinkled that section, and they've just put a lot of skin tone details into his face, and yeah, his eyes look spot on. As you can see in that comparison image, they're exactly the same color. Not exactly, but they're very close to Tom Hiddleston's actual eye color. And again, Hot Toys has knocked it out of the park when it comes to the sculpt of the hair. Again, sculpted hair is in my opinion, it's better than rooted in most cases, but in some cases, like the Justice League Wonder Woman, you can't really have sculpted hair, unfortunately. So this is just black itself, and I'm not sure if that looks like a seam line or not. I'm not sure how this goes, if this is just one piece or if that's two pieces. But there is a semi-evident line there, if you follow my finger. But that shouldn't be too big of an issue, because that's facing the back. So unless you're you're having him on your shelf with his back facing outwards, that shouldn't be an issue. Now for his costume, Hot Toys has gone with a pleather material for the black sections, for most of the black sections at least. And for his green parts, they've used a hard plastic, as these are his armored parts. I really like his shoulder plates. They've got a gold with some orange, yellow. Yeah, it's not really gold, but you can see that there's a mixture of colors in there. And I really like that gold section underneath his collar. Now this one is it's the more vibrant shoulder plate. There's more gold on there, and there is a proper gold with kind of fish scale pattern on there. So that is pretty good. Now, I don't own any of the previous Lokis to compare this with, so I can't say for sure that this is the best Loki there is. I'm pretty sure a lot of people say that the Avengers 1 Loki was the strongest Loki release. Sorry for the shaky cam, just rearranging some things. Oh, oops. For his arms, they are a separate. The suit does not carry over from the main body to his arms, so they are a separate piece of fabric. So in theory, you would get more articulation. I haven't tested that yet. I'll show you guys the range of motion later. On his elbow, his elbow section, they've crisscrossed the pleather material, which makes a very interesting kind of pattern on there. And same as that color on the shoulder plates. They've painted this armored section on his gauntlet the same, and just comes with his standard open hands. Now this section is also a hard plastic, his kind of belt area. Yeah, and as I said before, this is all a pleathery material, so do take care of it. Now underneath the cape, it's just a standard black pleather material. They've continued that angled pattern over, and his belt continues on. It's a flexible plastic, kind of like the Stormtrooper belts. And the pleather just continues on to his pants on there, and that is a hard plastic section with this whole kind of rectangular shape is a hard plastic section. Before I go on with the pants, I'll talk about the cape. And Hot Toys again has done a very good job with the cape. There is no wires in this, but it drapes really well, and Hot Toys has pre-folded all of his pleated sections, so that looks pretty good. And yeah, there's not much to say. There's no inside pattern. It's just a plain green cape, unlike the Infinity War 4, where both sides had a kind of a very subtle pattern to it. And this is just a standard green cape. But there's nothing wrong with that. It's just what the filmmakers went with. That's not really focusing. Let me just go closer. Okay, that stitching is kind of evident, but really not much to do about that. You have to stitch it somewhere. And Hot Toys has now this green section is also pleather, And going down further, let me just, yep, there we go. Just have to re-angle my tripod a bit. The boot section is in two, it's in two pieces. So you've got your kind of the piece that goes up to nearly his knees, and you've got the shoe section. So that offers a bit more ankle articulation. The shoes are just standard. They've got some dirt weathering, and his boot section, again, they've got some gold pattern along there, and got some details along the side, and something to replicate a strap section. So that's it for the figure itself. I'm just gonna demonstrate his articulation now. Alright, so for his articulation, I'm just gonna follow what the instructions recommend. So the arm can go out by 45 degrees. It can go forward. It says 90 degrees, but it's getting a bit hard when it goes up to here. So the instructions say that it could go up to 90, but it encounters a bit of resistance from the shoulder pad. So I'm not sure if that's entirely true or not. The elbows, they've got a double bend in there, so that's more than 90. I don't have a protractor with me, so I don't know exactly. But okay, the instructions say that his legs, that is 60 degrees between them, and they go out. Let me just turn it around. They go out by, sorry if I'm blocking the light. They go out by 45 degrees, and it's a bit tough. And his knees bend a bit more than 90, as you can see. So with a pleather suit, that's pretty much what you expect. The articulation is a little limited, but for what it is, you're not really going to put him in that much of a crazy pose, so it's really not that big of a problem. Now I'm just going to quickly demonstrate how to put on the helmet. Now I haven't put it on myself before, so this is my first time doing it. So that's his helmet. As I said before, it's a pretty good helmet. There are no swap out pieces, so you just slide it on top, and voila. There it is. Really not that complicated. It's not in the instructions, so it should be pretty easy to figure out. And that looks pretty badass. That is extremely cool. But I like this helmet, but I would prefer the first Avengers or 4-1 helmet, where the top was actually covered. I really prefer that look more than this open top look. But it still looks very, very cool, and I really dig his horns. So that's it for the review. I'm just gonna get him set up in a pose, and we can talk about my final thoughts. So yep. So this is the pose that I'll be displaying him with, and it does make me a little sad. I, Loki, Prince of Asgard, Odin's son. Yeah, that always gets me. So, anyways, I've got the Tesseract and one dagger, and I've got his helmet on. I know that's not really movie accurate, but I just really wanted to use the helmet, and I really wanted to display him in this pose, so it's my figure. But anyways, overall this is a very strong release from Hot Toys. This was early in the sense that this was supposed to arrive Q1 to Q2 in 2019, but they've pushed it up, probably to make room for Infinity War stuff later down the line. But as I said, this is a very strong release. The head sculpt, in my opinion, is spot on, and the costume is excellent. The tailoring, the hard plastic armor sections, the hair is perfect. There's really not much else to say. This is a very strong release, and I definitely recommend it for anyone doing a Marvel collection, a Thor trilogy collection, or just a Marvel villains collection, or just a Marvel Cinematic Universe collection in general, this is something that you really need, if not need, but would like to have if you were a fan of Marvel. And Loki is one of the most developed characters in the universe. I mean, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, not our universe. So that's it for this video review. I do have Kylo coming soon, as I said before in my unboxing video, so that should be coming soon. So yeah, that's it. A link will be in the description for Sideshow, where you can pre-order the figure. I don't think they're shipping out soon. Sideshow has been kind of wonky with their shipping dates, but that should be shipping out in, safe to say, a few weeks. So that's it for this review. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you maybe in the Kylo Ren video, maybe in another video. Who knows what Hot Toys will release next week, but I'll try and get that up as soon as possible. So thanks for watching, collectors.